Welcome to the first episode introduction of Crownspiracies, where pageantry gets personal, with your hosts, me, Katie Sauer, and Chrisanne Benetti.
We are so excited to have everyone tuning in. This is something that we've been wanting to do for a very long time, and the time has come. We finally took the step, so I hope that you enjoy what you're about to see, because there's a lot going down.
Oh yeah, we're covering everything from blind people conventions to dead bodies in pools at hotels to hotel room flashers. So you're going to want to tune in every single week to our podcast to get all of the tea, all the dirt, all the inside scoop on everything related to pageants, from contestant perspective, director perspective, backstage staff. We've seen it all. We're spilling everything. Every crown has a story, and you're going to get to hear it all from us.
I think it's important to start pretty much at the beginning. We've both been doing pageants for a very long time, but our paths didn't cross till you were about what age, Katie?
I would say probably like 4 or 5, maybe 6. It was pretty early for me, but we didn't really know each other until a couple years later beyond that. But I think we first met when I was like 4 or 5.
Right. And pageantry brought some of the best people into my life, you and your mom, right at the top of that list. So it's been an incredible journey, and watching you grow up throughout the years has been, it makes me feel really old, but it's also amazing to see the woman that you've turned into from who I first originally met, like a little itty bitty bit. So it's pretty cool to see, you know, our relationship today, that's what pageantry really is all about.
Yeah. I mean, every life event that you could possibly think of, every season of life and just different phases we've gone through pretty much together. I mean, my entire adult life has been, the easiest way to refer to you is my cousin. Like, I literally don't tell anybody. They're like, oh, like, who is that? I'm like, I'm going on vacation with my cousin, because we've literally known each other for that long that it's like, it would be silly to call you anything other than family. Like we grew up together through pageants. Like, we've been through so much together of like learning and growing on stage and off, that this has been just like the culmination of all of that together, of just all the years, all the stories, all the craziness that's gone on from every side of it, and like all the unbelievable stories that you literally can't make it up. Like, it's physically happened to us. I can't wait for us to be able to share all of that. This kind of beats us to writing the book, but we're gonna do it live instead.
It's pretty cool to have like a virtual diary, I guess you can call it that, of all of the fun things that we've been through and some of the crazy things that we've been through throughout the years. I wanted to start by sharing one of my absolute favorite stories about you, and one of the most distinct, first memories I have of you. We were both national title holders from a system that shall not be named. And we were learning an opening number dance, which we all know, like, I have 2 left feet. And if it wasn't for you over the years, all the pageants that we did together, where you were teaching me the opening number dance, whether it be in line at parks or in the hotel, but I'll never forget, we were learning an opening number dance. It was a little bit more tricky because the person teaching us was like an actual dancer. Maybe a spicy dancer at some point, but we'll get to that on another episode. But anyway, she was teaching us this dance, and she went through this, I don't know what you call it, combination of steps, right? And you were like, actually, and I mean, she was like, barely see over a counter. She was like, actually, it's blah, blah, blah. And the dance teacher's like, you're actually right. And I was like, I like this kid. So yeah,
that was the first memory. Day one. Always.
Yeah, one of my favorite stories of you. And then throughout the years, we went from, co-competitors to, I was your coach, and then you retired.
Hung it up. But honestly, though, I feel like where we were at when we did retire kind of opened the door for the new chapter that we've been in for now going on year 10 with IUM, and our 10-year anniversary of starting something. And I'll never forget when my mom literally came into the room and she was like, so we started a pageant, and by we, I mean Chrisanne started accepting applications for everything, for the appointed, first round of title holders, and she was like, guess we're doing it now. And it took off from there. And I mean, it's been a crazy emphasis on crazy ride since then, with all the good, bad, ugly that's happened over the years, and everything we've been just kind of taking in stride at this point of where we started, where we're at now. I mean, starting from Harrah's in Atlantic City with drunk people wandering up from the casino trying to get into our event, and little old me at 16 years old having to literally bully grown men out of our ballroom because they could not figure out where the elevator was. So all of that, to now having, I would say, one of the largest events in pageantry coming up. Year 10 is going to be epic. It's going to be insane. It's going to be huge. And it's going to be everything that we've worked for up until this point has just come to fruition. I think our goals are being met already this year with everything just opening up appointed titles and registrations. Currently open now. So if you haven't applied, go to internationalunitedmiss.com. Shameless plug. Don't care. But it's going to be insane. And it's exciting to see your hard work, my mom's hard work, all of it come together. And just like the dream that you guys, I know, had, even being the state directors for another system that shall not be named, at one point, and seeing all of what you wanted to do, what you didn't like, what you liked, what you wanted to provide to pageantry, and seeing that come to life has been so inspiring. I mean, just watching from my perspective, like growing up, being around you constantly and seeing your coaching business, your photography business, hair and makeup, and like learning all of the ways of how to be an independent entrepreneur from you specifically has been, the biggest part of my adult life, of like just seeing like you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever your heart's content. Just do it to the max. If you're going to do it, go full force. And that's the biggest takeaway that I've always learned from you, and from just all of this creation of just pushing yourself to do what it is that you want to do. So that's the other side of things from my perspective. You got to watch me grow up, and I got to watch you kind of lead me to it. So that's where we come together, of just being powerhouse.
Yeah. And let me tell you the difference between, because I will never forget, we had a conversation. This is pretty early on when I first started coaching you. And it's kind of when everything clicked for you. And it was amazing watching it. Like, I saw it register in your eyes. And you were having like a little bit of issues with some mean girls at your school. I think it was like middle school, high school area. And I sat you down and I was like, their opinion of you does not matter. You realize that, right? And it was like that conversation where it clicked and you were like, you know what? You're right. And your entire mindset about everything in that moment changed. And that's when we really started seeing the results, not even just like in life, but like on the pageant stage too, right? Right after that is when you started really getting real successful. Because there was a point there, it was like we were always competing against the same people, because we did a lot of circuit pageants, and those circuit pageant girls moved with us to scholarship pageants. But once you realized who you were, that's when everything shifted. And that's when you started really becoming successful. And that was amazing to watch. And then who you are today, I've seen you work on work calls, and I'm like, she knows, she is standing on business.
10 toes down. 10 toes down, always. That's never going to change now. Yeah, I mean, once it clicked, and it was like, from there, it was like, you can't tell me anything, because I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and I'm going to do it. That's for sure. So yeah, I mean, that just like, all of this is kind of what made us want to share this whole podcast and share this whole story with everybody, because there are so many learning lessons that we've taken from pageantry and just various aspects of life, whether it was job interviews or just how to navigate different conversations with like general people, like in the public, like as far as networking goes, or navigating tough conversations with friendships, and like how to, healthy competition, how does that impact your friendship with somebody else? Like, that's the biggest thing for me, is like and kind of what we wanted to talk about, of just the mindset around pageantries. I mean, at the end of the day, I've said this for so many years at this point, it's a hobby. It's not, yes, you can consider it a sport, but like a sport, it's also a hobby. If you can't handle someone's opinion of you, or you don't like it, find a cheaper hobby. You're going to save yourself a lot of money and a lot of heartbreak. So if you don't like it, if you don't like 5 strangers' opinions of you, there's the door, because you don't have to do it. Nobody's holding a gun to your head and say, get on that stage right now. That's your choice. And I think the biggest issue that I see in pageantry today is just people in it for the wrong reasons, like not in there to make friendships. I mean, I have friendships from the time that I was 4 and 5 years old. Like we still have people that we've known from around the block of just like who's been around us for so long, who we've competed with for years that we're still friends with today. And that's at the end of the day what pageantry is really supposed to be about. It's about building yourself up as far as your confidence, your public speaking skills, your life skills, and then also making friends along the way while you do that. I mean, I've said it so many times throughout pageant week of it. What the worst thing that I see is after the results don't go your way, if that's the case, you turn around and you're so ugly to the person that you claim to be your best friend and is going to be the bridesmaid in your wedding. No, she's not, because you just called her fat and ugly backstage because you didn't win because you were mad. Like, please take that energy somewhere else, because that's not what this is about. Like, pageantry is so the opposite. It's supposed to be about cheering your friends on. And we've seen that too. I mean, we saw so many girls even from this year, like run on stage and hug their friend after they personally didn't even make the top 10. Like their best friend won and they were up there cheering them on. Like that's, if I could capture that moment and just like replay that for everybody, that would be the moment that I would say is what this is all about. So I'm excited for everyone to see our take on everything, the hot takes, the cold takes, the maybe not what you think takes. I mean, everything in between of what we feel pageantry is and should be. I mean, growing and continuing on in this world.
Yeah, I think that's a great stopping point for our first little segment. If you like what you see, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, like our Instagram page, Crownspiracies. We have a YouTube channel. And if you want to submit any of your fun stories, we'll read them for the audience in like a viewer submission segment. Make sure that you email crownspiracies@gmail.com for those.
Thanks for joining the first episode of Crownspiracies, pageantry unfiltered and full of heart. Keep your head up, keep shining, and we'll see you next week.